Hello, all. Welcome back to Melanin Madam. Tonight we have Bambi with us and the famous homie. Tonight's topic, and we are getting ready to make sure I put on the comments. That light is bright. Um, Tonight we're going to be talking about R. Kelly and the 30-year-old that was on the show. What I just noticed, give me 1 second, that light was dead in my eyes. What I just noticed is that there was two 30-year-olds, or 30 plus year olds. Tonight we are going to be talking about the one named Kanika, who was working at the radio station, and she was already in the industry. So we are going to be talking about much better. We are going to be talking about her. And then the other one, while I have it up, is remember the girl from Atlanta that met him in Atlanta? She was one as well, and she met him at 35. So we'll make sure and get to her next week. So tonight we are going to be talking about Kanika, though. So let's roll out the red carpet to our guests, the famous homie and Bambi, or not guests, they are co-hosts. You guys are the guests. So they are going to introduce themselves, and then we're going to get started.
Hey, everybody. It's the Bam. I definitely changed my name to that today.
Oh, okay. I was like, like I can't see.
Our lights is bright. My eyes hurt.
Ooh. I still think I need to move this one. Okay, go ahead, Rama.
Today.
What up, y'all? What up, though? This the famous homie. Y'all know who it is. Back again to talk that shit. What's good?
Okay, because that's what we do best. It's been a minute since we've all been together, but it's all been good reasons. First reason, for the first show about R. Kelly, I did by myself intentionally because it's such a hot topic, and it was sensitive with that one. And then the second one, we just been busy. So we've been really blessed. All of our brands are taking off. And so we show up as we can, and we appreciate that those that show up for us. So I have a thing, right? So I think Raina actually posted it. But her article, Kanika, that she did for People magazine, it started out saying, with people tend to be dismissive about her story because of her age. She was divorced, meaning she already went through a relationship that obviously didn't go so well. And then she was already in the industry. And the way she wrote this, it was like he just sent her flowers on her birthday, blinked at her twice and flew her out. And then people started kind of letting her know, like, maybe you didn't see this tape, and started sending the tape to her like, you can't possibly be serious. And then instead of taking into consideration what the tape said, you go to him complaining, oh, they hurting me. Oh, girl, don't trip, quit your job and come out here. Okay, I'm gonna quit my job 2 weeks later. So about that tape, and then she got knocked out. You didn't ask about the tape before you quit. That's the way it read to me, the article. That's literally the chronological order that she put it in. What are y'all's thoughts? What's your first thought that comes to mind? Just give your first thought that comes to mind. And I promise y'all.
You quit your job? A couple of blinks and some flowers, you quit your job?
Let me read it, Bam. I promise I'm not lying. This is what it says, okay? We exchanged numbers and kept in touch. He sent flowers on my birthday, and I started visiting him in Chicago. Eventually, people at the station found out. I started getting harassed. People messaged flowers, flights, and you started getting harassed. I'm reading it like it says. Okay, go ahead.
I'm not quitting no job because you sent me no damn flowers on my birthday. And because you flew me out to Chicago for a couple of... I'm not quitting my job.
Well, it looks like the clear intent here was to come up, because the first chance she got, she quit her job. She quit the job because she thought she was on. So it looked like coming into the situation, she was looking for a come up for sure.
Thank you. So she can't cry wolf now. I'm gonna just stop. She can't cry wolf now. You were looking for something, and you thought you were in the direction of getting it, honey.
You thought you won a lottery. You thought you hit that 6 number. You know what I'm saying? She was on.
I'm a drink to that.
So my whole problem with her saying it is I felt the same way. First, you started out with people are dismissive because. No, Trick, you was dismissive. People try to tell you about other people's situation and you totally dismissed every other woman that had been through something. Then because she didn't believe it, then they sent her the tape. They like, maybe you didn't see this. Maybe you didn't know, because that's fair, right?
Right.
How they tried to help you and you literally, no,
Wait,
you
hold
were
up.
dismissive. And now you're trying to make it like you the victim. You didn't even write it in a victim tone. Like,
Hold up. Let's go back a second. They said,
okay,
maybe she didn't see the tape, but she definitely heard about the tape. Everyone
Ron
heard about
sent it to her. So when it was
like even before they sent it to her, she heard about the tape. Everyone heard about the tape.
Yeah, I even heard about. I didn't see it, but I heard about it.
And if you didn't hear about the tape, trust and believe, it was in every cartoon.
Yes.
Bam, she was a radio personality, popular. So how you didn't know about the tape?
She knew. She knew.
Exactly.
You wanted to do the same, you wanted to do the same thing because you probably heard. Listen, there's always three sides of the story. Truth,
in
his
some
side,
cases.
and then the person who was in the tape, their side. So the person on the who was,
but we're just going off of hers. We only going from her perspective. What she wrote.
She probably thought that the person got paid.
Oh, to do the tape or something.
Well, she couldn't have thought that because the girl was 12. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, well, we'll make her think.
She already in the industry. So let's not take that away. We know through our path of being in the industry, you go through so many steps, different people, all of these things. It's not like you go to college and then get a job. So you've been around a lot of people before you got to that point. To be in radio. And then she was she was hosting when they actually met, she was hosting an after party for his concert.
Oh, stop it. Let me find it.
That's what it said before we exchanged numbers. That's how it said that they met. That's why I'm like, how can is certain situations, does it make what a person does okay just because you put in that situation? No, that's not the topic tonight though. The topic is, were you a victim going in? I personally don't think you was a victim. And people didn't dismiss, you dismissed and didn't take your own safety and anything into consideration. 2 weeks after you got there, Ron, it says 2 weeks, 2 weeks in, I questioned him about the sex tapes, and that was the first time he abused me. 2 weeks in, you couldn't ask before you quit your job, so you quit your job, sold your condo, and moved to Chicago.
And then you got abused allegedly, and you continue to stay.
Yeah, he did it repeatedly. He paired her with a girl that had been there for 10 years already, and she was in her 20s. And if she wanted to go out, this is the one that got paired with the girl that she wanted to go out, and the girl kept getting her in trouble because she was probably jealous of her. But so you mean to tell me you went out with another bitch and you came back?
Sounds like a choice.
Ron.
Sounds like a choice.
You didn't say he held you captive.
No.
Her thing was shame. She said she was in it for 2 years. And she was saying that, what did she say? Oh, she said she was devastated and thought it was too late. 2 weeks in, you thought it was too late. You a whole adult. You've been through a divorce, but you thought it was too late. Miss me with that. That's a lie. Her old colleagues was making fun of her on air. She didn't want to go to the police because it would have just fueled them laughing at her, and she was ashamed. You went through a whole divorce.
Pride, embarrassment, and shame, not victimized.
Come on.
Like, there's a difference.
Thank you.
And you were a whole 35 years old. He didn't put a gun to your head and say, stay around and keep getting abused. You know what I'm saying? He didn't do any of that. That sounds like a choice. You made a decision to stay in a toxic, abusive situation, and it didn't go how you wanted it to go. So now you're looking for another come up.
Yep. Because right after she talks about she was there for 2 years, she made sure to mention that she was the one at the Whitney Houston's funeral with him. After he did Coachella in 2013, she said he came down really hard on her, and that's when she began to plan her escape. She had a whole son that lived with her ex that was in high school. And like the strength to be there for your child, nothing.
Right.
Nothing. He got her a round trip ticket. The way that she got out is she said, I want to go get school clothes for my son. And he told her, yeah, and bought her a round trip ticket. And then she just didn't get on the trip coming back. So again, you were never held captive. You even got to go out to go. He paired you with another woman, not a butch one, not one that was a wrestler, one that was almost 15 years under you. And if it's the one we're thinking of, then that would have to be the one that was going to like court and stuff for him. So she was really short and kind of petite. Either way, my feet work. I could run from you. I could push you. I could do anything.
Your mind work. You can do like
shut up.
Like why are you sitting there like
you can't even tell, you cannot tell me that you did not think not once like get the fuck up.
Damn.
Like, come on now.
I can't get over the 2 weeks later I asked him about the tape. Why'd you even ask about the tape? You didn't care about the tape. What did you think what do you think she thought he was gonna like? What would have been a good answer?
What is there to question? Why would you ask about the tape? Like at all? Like what is he supposed to say? Oh yeah, that was me and that 12-year-old. Yeah, that was man. It was good too, girl. Like that shit was fire. Like what's he supposed to say? Like, come on, girl. You can't be that goofy.
Clearly she is, because she got her butt whooped and she still allowed pride, embarrassment of co-workers though. Not even your family. You're saying your colleagues. She never mentioned her family. Everything I read is what's here. It was in People magazine. I pulled it up right online because I wanted to know the ages of each one so that we could look or whatever. And I was looking for her in particular. That's it. This is what you put in People? And you still, when you wrote it, didn't see nothing wrong with it?
Come on.
Huh?
Come on.
It's been empowering to you to come forward, for our voices to be taken seriously. We're still not taking you seriously, man. Who is we? You're not a part of we.
You ain't we.
You ain't we.
No.
But their stories are nothing like your story. Yours was voluntary.
Yours
like
don't
now
go.
You speaking French now. Now you know we.
Nothing says scared. It don't say scared. It don't say mental abuse. It don't say manipulate. It don't say none of those words.
It's like, come on, stop. Your story don't even belong with these other ladies. It's like you're coming from a whole different perspective. Like you shouldn't even feel comfortable talking about your shit when it don't match up with the other girls.
That's what I was thinking, brother. I was thinking like that's kind of disrespectful to talk like that. That's why they was jealous of you, because out of you and them, you got treated right in comparison to them.
Right.
To them, considering what they was going through.
Exactly.
You haven't mentioned, I mean, is it right to put again, this is not what we're talking about. If it was right, the things that he did, but in comparison, your story is nothing like their story. The front door was open to you.
Right. You go in and out.
If I'm not mistaken, some of the other ladies were literally, quote unquote, being held captive. They were not getting no flights around.
No phone calls.
No phone calls. It was no phone, no text. You was incognito. Okay.
Remember, he even told some of the parents, like some of them made their final call home or whatever, like, I'm not reaching out to you no more. I'm not talking to you. You know, that's not She had somebody go out with her. She could go out. She didn't say a guard. She said a girl. She was at concerts full. Girl, you was at a whole televised funeral.
Right.
Can't imagine I can't imagine Asia ever, but Asia today staying in anything like that because, oh, you know, the people where I work, they're going to talk about me.
Right.
You would be talking about me for a different reason. I'd be the only one that clocked him over his head with something.
Do it in sign language.
I can't imagine caring. Imagine
how you care that much.
Imagine me caring about some coworkers that much.
I don't even like y'all. I only come in here for 8 hours. I don't like y'all.
It's the even exchange. My time for that paper. This ain't nothing personal. Like, I don't care what y'all think about shit that goes on over here. Like,
not over yonder.
Right. Look, even if it was 2 weeks in, just think if she would have been thinking more about actually saving herself than the experiences that she could have, she could have flipped that and came back harder. Like, I'm the one that snapped out of it the quickest, came back home, built my life back up. Y'all was right. Ooh, I was tripping. I don't know what. It's strengthening your truth to stay, to turn. I'm coming home. I'm turning around and coming back. I'm not. Because what made you ask in that 2 weeks?
I was drunk.
What do y'all think made her ask him about the tape after 2 weeks? Why was she even asking?
Guilt.
Guilt. I was going to say that. Guilt. And too many people probably in her ear. Like, when you have a certain amount of people in your ear, you're going to be like, okay, let me test the waters real quick. So what was this about? And then when you get the answer you didn't think you was going to get, then it'd be like, oh, now that's a turn off. No, don't be turning off now because you didn't come here with that energy when you already knew about it. Somebody was already in your ear telling you about the bull crap. Right. You didn't take it and run with it then.
And she's a mom.
Plan. I got a master plan. I'm finna get rich. You had your whole life already planned out.
On some trips to Chicago? She didn't even go to Maldives or
like it's. I would have understood if he took you to Dubai or something. You went to Chi-Town.
Well, Chicago was Dubai to her. She probably never been nowhere, so she thought she was living. You know what I'm saying? Like, where
was she riding on a PJ or was she riding on Southwest? I want to know.
If she could own a condo, then that means she do something right, so she could take her. That's why I'm good. All that stuff that. Ron, I don't know who I'm talking about. That my girl Kasha, I love you to death, but I don't give a motherfuck. It ain't no man on this planet that's a real man that don't care what a woman is bringing to the table when eggs is $8 a carton right now. That is not what he is looking to you for. But you need both. You need both people. But you need both people. If a woman brought a match to the table and she was what she is supposed to be in the woman area, there are gender roles, and the man was the man role, it would be his perfect setup. He would care. The reason why a lot of men don't care right now is because those women have voices, and those men that believe if I have money, I could do X, Y, and Z. Right. We will gladly leave you on. You can stay right here. I'm gonna be just fine. No, I don't need you then. I need a man. I don't need you. See, there's a difference. I'm just saying, this is a good example. This girl, no black person, man or woman, just shoots their career up like that. You worked that hard and gave it away that quick. I'm sorry. I'm going to ride my ignorance, or I'm saying, I'm going to ride it till I figure out a way to turn it for me. I'm not like, you gave it all up. It was no plan, Ron.
Far from naive, okay?
Man, it was no plan to even turn it around.
That was her plan.
That was her plan.
What do y'all mean that was the plan? I don't understand.
Listen, back then, people was already saying about how that man was gonna get caught up.
I know. What was her plan? Y'all tell me.
You know how much them women got paid to be on that show to tell their story?
But she sold her condo. So you got a paper trail, fool. You sold your condo. Everybody tried to tell. You got emails. You got your case. is closed. What was her? What y'all tell me?
What was her what?
What was her plan?
She ain't have one. She was trying to come up off that chocolate factory. Okay. She didn't have no plan.
She wanted to be Miss Kelly. She thought she was.
She wanted to be. Yeah, she wanted to be the same girl.
She thought she was going. Oh, because she was younger. So clearly, if he coming at now, he don't want to mess with the younger girls. He wants a girl of his age, and I'm in the industry too, so it's different. I'm gonna be a
woman.
See, that's why y'all gotta help me. I mean, for real, I was lost.
There's only one woman in the industry that man is still going to claim his wife, and that's Andrea.
I think if he could rise Aaliyah from the dead, he would.
If he could rise,
I think those are his only two women. I think those are his two.
Andrea, and at the end of the day, even when Andrea showed her face on that show, it made no sense to me because you can't say all this stuff about this man and you still got his last name.
With him, right?
You still got his last name. You are still going as Andrea Kelly.
Right. Baby, let me tell you what I'd have let go first. I'd have been the opposite of Tina Turner. Mr. Judge, the only thing I would like to give away is this name and I want my kids' name changed because they was getting messed with and stuff. I don't want no association, but I'm gonna need that. Can you pay me my child support for the next 18 years? Because they finna take all his money, Mr. Judge, sir.
I need the alimony. I need the child support. I need all that.
I want the advance. Divorce me and give me all that.
Right.
Give me about 20 million and I'll be quiet.
Before I walk out this door here, George.
Yes. Turn his royalties over to his kids.
I need my cut. I need 20 right now.
Can y'all see yourselves? We all have big dreams. I will say my guess, based on who I've talked to, none of us have a dream that we willing to sacrifice our soul for. We okay if we gotta fight for our dream and work a 9 to 5 because that's what we love. Do you see yourself? If you could be exactly where you want to be in entertainment tomorrow by doing something with R. Kelly, not illegal, just working with him, would you work with him?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm saying yes because me as being in the dancer industry, a lot of different artists may see me and then see my talent and be like, I want her. For example, I can be dead. Well, then again, let me take that back because without him, I've done it. So I'm taking that back. So
I mean,
it's a 50-50 yes and no.
I don't think for an adult, I know y'all might have heard what I said last week, but for an adult, I think it's different.
It's different.
It's no right or wrong answer. But if you have to do it in that house, if you got to walk past all of that shit, would you be able to see all of that shit and still go in a room and work with him?
Hell no. I'm going to peep in. I'm black. I'm peeping in first.
Who in there? Rescue some of them girls. Like
I couldn't do it, brother.
Yeah.
I don't want his name attached to mine at all. I don't care if it was for all the money in the world. I'm good because
I mean, I would love to do an interview.
I would love to do it. I would. Yes, so if that would count. So for me and you, I think it would be a little different also for Bam. Like she said, it's a little different for the things we do. Would I like to interview him? I would. Because I want some questions to be in there about his upbringing because he needs help.
I was just going to say what Hilda.
Exactly, Hilda. It don't take from his talent. And it is 50-50 fault. And then, no, I couldn't work in that house though. I can't see nothing you do. You need to come into my space. I interview you and you need to answer my questions. Cause I have questions like, do you think if you would have got help that your life could have been different? I think that he's due some fair questions. I think that he's not old enough to where his whole life is gone. He's going to be in jail forever, but you still have the right to save your soul. So, well, that's the reality, brother. He's going to be in jail forever. But as long as he don't comprehend that what he did is wrong, and he has the right to be ignorant. We all are. We don't know what his situation is, but I can tell you talking to him, he don't sound smart. He doesn't. So somebody should try to help him get through what has hurt him. And then maybe he can offer some of these girls apologies, but this 30-year-old, he don't owe you owe her one for putting your hands on her. But do you owe her one for the sexual encounters? No, because she mentioned that in the, what did she say?
I
The
was
20
really going to connect that with when you were saying getting help. When I was watching that should be another one of our topics. I just so happened to actually give it a try to watch the Dahmer series on Netflix.
I couldn't get through it. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
They gave that man so many tries, arrested him, released him, arrested him, released him, arrested him, released him for the same shit. They gave him help, but still it's like I don't feel like they're not giving that to him right now. Yes, he needs help because when you are dealing with something so mentally fucked up, you need help. Like you can continue, and he took his help to his music. If you actually really listen to some of the words to his song, that is like, I'm going to say this like this, and probably the best way I could say it without trying to be so vulgar, but he has a sex demon.
I said that last week because think about it, Bam. If you don't help something, I said that. I said
only going to get worse.
Exactly. Each person has a responsibility, and that's why I don't feel it's fair. And we're going to say that on every show, how he the only one in jail. Because if you don't take care of something, a kid, let's take it at a very low level. If you tell a kid not to do something and you never pop that kid like you said you was, that kid going to keep doing the same damn thing. Once you pop that, they look at you like, wait, it's a consequence? Then they stop.
It's a joke.
Exactly. But think of people feeding it to you. You got a team running it like it's a business. This one coming in this way, this one going out that way. Flight tickets, you king. They had to address him as king in the black room. In the black room is where you have to do everything that he wanted you to do, no matter what time he called you to that room with anybody. Also, that goes back to, at that point, it's a fine line between what others don't understand. If you're not a woman, even if I am in a marriage or I lay down to have sex with you, I lay down to have the kind of sex I want to have. But if I am threatened and have to do something different, that is now rape. You now trumped that as abuse. You get what I'm. So all of these things gave him his power, though. When I walk in the room, address me as king and stand up. Like you made it worse by not helping him.
You don't wear the. See, listen, I think me personally, if I was in that predicament, God forgive me, I would be beaten and probably dead somewhere. Because my mouth, you don't pay my bills.
No, he married you. Everybody get out. This is what I'm saying. When you do real shit, that helps people. Because he wasn't in reality, Bambi. He wasn't in reality. Nobody treated him like they would tell him no.
The last show I remember saying, I believe this is what brought the topic up. The last show, I was actually, I'm not going to say I was actually, but I was this close from probably being one of his victims.
Oh, when he inboxed you?
DM'd me on Instagram after I used one of his sounds on Instagram, and I still have the video up, but it's in my archive. I took it off my page, but it's in my archives now. So it was the video to Cookie. I lied. The video is still on my page. So let me see. I posted the video, and because I was supporting a black business, and she was making the cookie onesie pajamas. After I saw that. After I reposted this video, I received a message from him.
That you think he had a whole team, Ron. Out of all 15, people, 16? Not that we don't love the hell out of Bam, but out of all people, you knew Bam put that up right then. The nigga in her inbox before it even hit our page all the way. Come on, Robert. You had a whole team. You the only one in jail though.
Right. Literally.
How old were you? Like 15, 16?
I was 20.
Barely hit the mark.
I was 20.
You don't even look 20. So
October 23rd, 2020 is when I posted.
Man, Rara, that's great.
I posted it in less than a couple of minutes of it being up. Viewing my insights right now. this video reached 12,687 pages.
And no, it was 12,000, and the 12,000 was him. The 600 was everybody else. I'm just saying.
And actually, listen, this is the crazy thing. I had 4,382 non-followers who were watching my page.
That was his other pages. That was him.
It tells you the non-followers who were
right.
So as soon as I posted it, less than maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes. I get a DM with heart eyes. And my partner at the time, I'm looking at it like,
this can't be real.
He got a team.
Like, look at this. I don't want to open
Ron, you know he have to have a team.
He got a team looking for
you know he have to. That's sick. Just think if
recruit me.
Just think if somebody would have helped him. This dude been doing this stuff probably all the way up until it really sank in his head. I'm going to jail. Because remember, I'm not getting out. Because remember, after he went in, the girls was still talking like, no, I love him. I'm going to support him. They was trying to get him out, this and that. So you still had your touch on them. They didn't even leave your house. They sitting there waiting for you.
They were waiting.
Remember?
Came to the game to play.
Remember, Ron, that's sick.
Yeah.
But that is how much power a male can have over a woman, number one. But that's not typical of a male unless the male has been a part of sexual abuse, which did happen to him when he was younger. And so if any one of those people would have helped him and not created a business out of feeding the demon in him, because as long as you keeping him over here and on his music and the checks keep coming in, who knows what they was doing over here with them. They was sitting pretty. Sparkles, let's talk about Sparkle's brother for a little bit. You actually in the band, your sister is making music with him, but you got your daughter coming in here. And when your daughter came in, remember, she was the baby that was in there with her friends and they was all dancing in the actual studio. But you play. That means you there.
Right. And you okay with that?
Because she cut her own brother out.
Let me guess. Is that because he and Sparkle was getting paid more or something?
No, remember, Sparkle wasn't for it. Sparkle didn't know. When Sparkle found out, she came in and she's the one who admitted she saw her niece there with some of the younger friends as well and cussed his butt out. And that's why he stopped helping Sparkle. And she cussed her brother out. That's why they really fell out. Can you imagine walking in there, seeing me with all my nieces, or that's your daughter and you right there.
You practically selling your daughter.
Yeah.
Practically.
Not even.
Remember, she said he was getting paid really well.
Blatantly.
This is my question. Why isn't he in jail for prostituting his daughter? That's practically like you're prostituting your child.
And Sparkle reached out for help.
I understand that back in the day, a lot of parents and things like that used to sell their children for whatever.
This wasn't back that far though. I was in high school when Sparkle came.
They still got people who do it.
Oh yeah. You can literally buy them online. You very well can. However, you unfortunately, Ron, you can't. It's deep. Women is scared for a reason. You could. And it don't matter if you plus size. None of that. You could be the ugliest. It could be. It don't matter. None of that. It's very scary, actually. And they won't leave me here. They'll take me to they'll take me to Liberia, another company or country, and then they'll bring them here. But I'll show you one that I saw for Brazil. It's real. And you literally book your executive trip, and you're really going there, and you have your escort meet you. It is sick anyway. And those don't be older girls, they be young babies. But Sparkle even mentioned that the brother was getting all kind of extra things. Like he was the highest paid musician. He made sure he got to do extra things. But how did you get
Yeah, it's mine. But this is what behooves me, okay?
You walk like I can't imagine walking in to where I shouldn't see my nieces, and they even seniors in high school, and they in there doing something. And I'm snatching all of them out of there.
Now, this is what
But to walk in and see them actually dancing on each other, dancing with your little stuff on, you playing right here, and your daughter right there.
Girl, that would be like, get your fur shirts out of here right
And
now.
that's what Sparkle tried to do, and her brother turned on her. And then when she reported it, they actually went to court and everything. Sparkle's case is one of them that went to court and everything. And because the brother said no and all of that, it got dismissed. But she tried, and it ruined her whole career in music. How your auntie willing to do that for you, but your dad handed you to the beast?
Because he wants that bag.
That makes me question. Now, was the dad touching the daughter too?
Or was one of the friends there for him?
If you so willingly and you're okay as a father, I know any black father is not
going to be okay with that unless you're doing something.
Watching your daughter, because a dad, listen, they always say that your dad, as a daughter, the dad is always going to teach you how a man is supposed to treat a woman.
Yep.
Not in that way for people who have may have, been in
other things going on. It's supposed to be what it should be.
Your father is always supposed to be not your first love, but that is supposed to be the man that teaches you and show you how a woman's supposed to be treated.
Right.
Now, if you are okay with watching your daughter bump and grind, or slow wind, or even step in the name of love with a whole nother one, you can't.
I never even thought about that.
You doing something with these little girls. And I only can think like that because I've been in situations like that.
Right. It makes perfect sense.
You
don't want to think, you know what I mean?
Right.
You can't tell me you so comfortable. I don't know no black man. If I was to ever be around a man and he has a daughter and you're okay, don't get me wrong. I know it'd be men and the family around and stuff like that. And they'd be like, baby, do that dance and I'll give you some money or whatever. That's cool.
That's little like Raven. We did kid and play. Like we didn't
do that dance you was trying to teach me. That's cool because that's that shit that we trying to
teach. Right. That's different.
You probably sitting up here really rocking, watching her doing this shit. That don't sit right with me.
Yeah.
That will never sit right.
That just made my stomach hurt. I didn't even go down that rabbit hole.
Around a man. If I was to ever sit around a man and watch him do that, immediately I'm gonna call him
done.
out.
You can't be around my child. I'm done.
You can't be around me or my children.
Because my life is in jeopardy. I'm cool. Yeah. You sick. You don't think regular. So what would you do? I'm cool. I'm cool. I'm cool.
You can't
come
around me. You are no longer invited to none of the family cookouts, my guy. I'm sorry.
Matter of fact, you got some hands coming to you.
Like I know a real man will definitely put him in his place. Like that right there, that made me think.
Real man, that's the man where the person disappeared.
It's like, hold on, wait a minute. The father, this is your father.
Just like that.
Our sisters. This is her niece. Okay, wait a minute. So have you touched this poor baby? Yeah, that definitely turned on my listening ears. There's no way that you're just so willingly. There's not that much. Money is the root of all evil, but it's not that much money in the goddamn world for me to give you my child that came out of my sack. Oh, I'm sorry. Baby, it's prostitutes outside for you. It's prostitutes outside walking in the cold breeze that you can go buy for less than $40. You don't even gotta
buy prostitutes. You can buy regular women. Some regular women are willing to do that. Like, what are you talking about?
They have escorts.
Ron, I don't understand.
There's people. There's OnlyFans people who's willing to do this content with you.
There's girls at the mall that's willing to do this content.
With you.
But remember, he said he went to the mall or sent his guys to the mall to get girls, but they got the younger ones.
High schoolers, yeah. He didn't go on the grown.
Yeah.
Depending on what they done told them girls, if the one at malls, I'm gonna be 100 with y'all. When I was a little bit younger in high school, I used to walk the malls with my friends.
Yeah, we all did.
That was the thing. We walk the malls, we window shop. If we got a little bit of money, we splurge and we do a little of this. Then we go get some cafeteria food, sit around like we just went big balling shopping, like we had
right, right.
There was some people who used to walk up to us,
yes,
because
yes,
my body has never been
regular.
Regular for me, period.
Right.
Like I had a body for the body I had for my age back then. You would think I was always older.
Right.
And the way I carried myself was
always. But you could tell by our face, Bambi, that we wasn't. So they still knew better.
My face, when I say my face never changed.
Right, literally.
All it did was got fatter, and that was it. But we had some men in all suits, 2 dudes, big, buff as fuck, look like if we was to, turn our head, they'll snatch us, and we'll have to be literally kick fighting and doing all that. They used to come
you would see those same guys in the parking lot once the mall closed.
Same guys in Escalades. They were driving Escalades, and we used to be at South Bay. They would come up and tell us, hey, you guys are beautiful. Where'd you guys get y'all shoes? First off, nigga, all I'm wearing is white Adidas, so I know you ain't talking about my shoes. You can get these.
They just trying to woo
conversation piece.
Trying to have
they just seeing how low you will go.
Trying to test your temperature.
What's your amount?
What's my amount? One of my friends actually went with one of them guys one time, and we didn't hear from our friend in over like 3-4 years. She is okay now, but mentally she's never going to be the same. Never going to be the same. We don't know what happened to her. She never spoke on it. I never touched the topic with her because it's not it's who wants to talk about something like that? But at the end of the day, I've always had a smart mouth. I'm sorry. My mouth is like a goddamn community pool, dirty with no filter. I'm sorry. No.
So while you're right there, I think it's really important that since you brought that up, and we could move on past it because I don't want to cry. And I'm really sensitive today. But never keep your mouth closed.
Never.
So talking about it, as much as it will hurt you, those things that hurt the most are the things you need to talk about, because in some capacity, like Bam said, you will never be the same again. You'll never be the same again because if you get help, if you start to pray on it, if you start to get stronger in whatever that area is, because fear, it's not usually embarrassment. It's usually fear. It's usually hurt, not wanting to revisit. You can heal. I believe in the power of God, and I believe you can heal from anything. Will it still impact you? It can, but you don't want it to have control over your life. So get help for whatever you need help for. And I'll leave it at that. Because we need to talk in our community about talking more. So my next question is to Ron. If you, let's just say you was in the room with, let's say you walked in with Sparkle, and you walked in and saw her brother. So you just with Sparkle, you her friend. You with her, you walk in and see, that's the niece you've been telling me about, that your brother been telling you no, and she right here. And then you see 3 other girls, noticeably 15 to 17, and they room is dark, music is playing, and they in there dancing and everything. What's your next move?
Well, I'm definitely not about to be a part of an atmosphere like that, so I would definitely have to say something to the men in there, like, what the fuck is going on, y'all? What is this? Like, what is this? What's going on? Is this a movie? Like, are y'all playing? Like, I would definitely have to address that and see what's going on. And if once I talk to these niggas and be like, oh, this is what y'all doing, it's like, no, this ain't about to happen. Like, I know this ain't my child, but this ain't happening. Like, y'all niggas is not about to do this shit. Like, no. Like, that's the move. Like, you don't just say, well, it ain't none of my business, or walk out. Leaving ain't gonna do nothing. Leave. You left, and you left the possibility of something happening to one of those girls instead of doing something. So I would have to take the proactive role, and I would hope most men would take the proactive role and say, look, this ain't happening. Y'all ain't doing this shit tonight. Hell no. Right. Like, right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would have to definitely do some checking.
Right.
I love that he definitely said that, because even when they do have people out here who do that, like, oh, that ain't none of my business.
Right.
What happened to it takes
And then you leave and see them on the news. Now it's, I wish I would have
help, but what happened to it takes a village to raise a child?
Mm-hmm.
It don't matter if you're not that child's parent. If
Right.
you notice that you would not allow your own seed to be in here interacting with the shit that's going on right now, speak up and say something. Because if it was your child, then we see you on the news. I just want everybody to help me. No.
Right.
Because
no.
you ever heard of
think about that?
Yeah, like it's like being accessory to something. Like, I have somebody that I know that got raped back in the day, and there was a bunch of niggas that was there, and some of them didn't do it. But it's like
you were there.
You guys were there, and you might as well have done it if you didn't stop it. Like,
thank you.
What do you mean you was in the other room playing 2K? Like, you were there, and that shit happened, and you didn't do anything. Well, then you did it too.
I couldn't live with myself.
I would never be able to live with myself.
Now, I couldn't live with myself.
Me personally, I feel like when it's a group of men.
Yeah, we would have to be careful. That's why I asked him separate. So what would you do, Bambi,
if I'm the only woman there, depending on how I am approached because of my past, I am definitely afraid.
I know.
So I would go down fighting. I am definitely going to go down fighting because I would not want to see another woman go through something that can mentally fuck you.
So let's talk about that. Let's talk about, right? Because sometimes if you put in a situation, it helps when you automatically think back to when you did talk about a situation, right? What about if that were you and I, or we're both shorter and smaller. We walk into that situation and that is her father. What if we let him, I'm cool, I can't, no, that shit ain't cool with me, and we leave and go out? Who says we can't call for help when we get out of that building? Because our goal also is to be safe. Yeah. So women, be careful. You want to use your mouth when it's appropriate, and women talk too damn much, and then you end up getting hurt.
Yeah.
No, don't do that.
I'm that one. I talk too much.
No, not you. I'm just saying we're on a platform where it's a good idea to express it. Yeah, walk out and get help.
I see. That's the thing. If it was a me and you thing, like we both walk in, we're with Sparkle or whatever the case may be. I'm gonna use the same scenario. Me and you were friends of Sparkle's, and we walking in. If you say, "Damn, this not my scenario. This ain't mine either, girl," you go outside and you call, and I'm gonna be up here fighting, trying to snatch them out. Okay, you go call them. By the time they around the corner, give me the call, and I'm gonna be pulling somebody out. If the police come in and they get us, then we all good. But I'm gonna have to. I always wanted to be the person to fight for someone in a situation like that because no one fought for me. No one fought for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna have. I would have to. I will feel like God is talking to me. You know,
right? I couldn't live with myself.
The angel on our shoulder. Forget you, devil. I'm going to help them.
Right. Because for that person that is scared, for that person that is scared, always remember with your adult brain, with your survival brain, it's more than one way to fight. Yes. It is. So if you one of those people like, I can fight, but those are also men. My goal is to get us out of here. You know, so in that particular situation, especially considering his record, it's a better idea to bring other people in. Number one, because remember, nobody would come forward with what was really happening. Now you're actually there on, send somebody undercover, whatever it is, then they could go in with you. And now for sure, your hands are in the cookie jar type of situation because you want it to be impactful. You never want to get somebody arrested and they walk right back out. Then you be feeling like you wasted it. Like
you do nothing.
It's certain things, if you want to enter certain industries, that you have to talk about to kind of have like a plan in case certain things happen, especially if you're going to be around somebody like that or a woman. Never be by yourself. But
and I remember the last show we had, when we end up going backstage, we exchanged some words with each other. There was something that I read upon, and if I'm not mistaken, this is why I feel like all of the people who did work with him need to be in prison as well. Because if I'm not mistaken, that same place that Kitty, what's her name? Kanika was talking about. that was the place that they were supposedly checking IDs.
Right. Because Coachella, they check IDs.
If they're checking IDs, how are they getting? And also the parents should be held accountable, because like I told you, I was able to actually find some of the screenshots. I forgot to send them to you on Twitter, where the mother was actually texting and guiding her daughter on how
we'll do that one next.
How to seduce her man.
Oh.
How to seduce R. Kelly. Oh. Which made no sense to me. All of the messages end up getting leaked out of nowhere. But the mother is basically in the messages saying, when you get in there, you do this, you do that. And you guys can get the rest of all of that right along with the messages next episode. But me saying, you guys are supposed to be checking IDs. How are you guys getting these fake IDs? How don't your parent see you as a black
LA child? You can get them like this. No, you can get them like this. Nobody's business. It's a shame.
Yeah, because I had one. I ain't gonna lie. I had one. It was easy. It was like stealing a piece of candy from a baby while they sleeping. But they were supposed to be checking IDs. What parent do you know is going? First off, I know for sure my mama is gonna make sure that I'm asleep before she even close her eyes. And if she ain't that tired, ain't no parent that tired in the world to allow their child to be up in their sleep to where you know that they know where the hell you going. That skirt ain't even that's too far above the knees. Where you think you going? No, let me see.
Do you guys know real quick? Do you guys know for the idea of painting a picture for people that are not in California and don't know exactly where Coachella is? Give an example of how far out it is so they can see the logic in that youth cannot get to Coachella like that without
Coachella is like, I used to work for Coachella. So Coachella is really nothing like, if you guys know what like Lancaster is, it's like desert, kind of.
Right. So we stay in the main part by LA. Yeah,
we stay
it's like 2 hours away. People don't just stay there.
And people do not go like when you think of Coachella, like you don't think people really living around where Coachella is.
Right.
Coachella is nothing but a big little area, like nothing but desert.
In the middle of nowhere.
In the middle of nowhere. So don't think and then when you get to certain parts of Coachella, you do lose signal. So you won't be able to pick up no phone and call. Because when I was working at Coachella, we slept in tents. We used the bathroom in porta potties. Mm-hmm. And we really couldn't use our phones like that unless we would go to the main base where we were changing our clothes and doing all of that other good stuff. So Coachella is a place that you would not like. I know for sure.
And no parents say they didn't know their child was there. Is what we trying to. That's what I'm trying to paint for y'all. It's it was a city over. Oh, you caught an Uber. You didn't catch no Uber to no Coachella.
Pay $200.
You gonna be paying $280 something to get to Coachella from Los Angeles, California.
Probably more.
Or more.
I would think more. Yeah, probably more. 2 from the IE.
And Uber and Lyft wasn't even there back then.
Right. But I'm trying to give them a picture of how asinine this is.
Yeah, like Coachella is very far. I'm saying, let's say it's like, for my people that lives in Los Angeles, I'm going to say Los Angeles from California City. California City is right after, okay, let me break it down to you. So it's Lancaster. Well, no, it's Palmdale, Lancaster, Mojave, California City. California City is Coachella, and California City from California is damn near 2.5 hours. You not about to let your child go 2.5 hours away from home, and
it's night. Is it night or is it day? It starts in the day.
Coachella starts at like 2:30 in the afternoon,
and it goes all the way.
And it goes through all the way to night.
Right. So, and then imagine these kids trying to get back home. So, ain't no way you didn't know your child was at Coachella
in the morning.
And that's a grown-up event, like Jazz Fest, something like that. Kids are not there.
It's made for people who are literally 18 and older. Actually.
Right.
Like if your kid's not 18 and you're not allowing them to go out and they know they got a way there and a way back, please, no.
And you should get in a hotel.
Or if they staying in a hotel, like no.
Which you also have to be of age to check into.
To check into a hotel. So you're gonna need somebody that's 21 and older.
I can't imagine. So with all of this, I'm sorry, Ron, go ahead.
He knew all that though. Like, you know what I'm saying? You don't think he and his team knew that? They knew all
They knew all of it. They knew they done set. Let me pull these down real quick.
Well, we putting on our glasses so we could see.
They done set.
I'm just saying, because we can't see. A blind cat can see this shit. Don't make no sense. Girl.
Man, all the 3 blind mice from Shrek see this shit. Do you hear me? Listen.
Girl. And she want to be a victim. No. People, it's the people dismiss my story because I wasn't underage.
No one.
I was a divorced and popular radio personality. You just said why we not taking you seriously, girl.
Because you were already popular. You knew the game.
You was a grown-ass woman.
First off, you were you worked at radio, which means you know nothing but the gossip. You go on there to gossip about what's going on. That's your job.
Hello.
That is your job, to gossip and tell the world, the news, the tea, you know, the gag is. That's your job, to give us that information. You knew that. You have people that work with the radio station that which are called blogs. Which
is why her co-workers is the first ones who started inundating you like, wait a minute, you said you talking to who, girl? You tripping. Nobody supported you. Robert, how was that not a sign? Baby, how was that not a sign? You couldn't possibly thought they was haters.
It's a clear sign.
And that is clear as day. Yeah. Ray Charles seen that damn sign. And what you
so who was dismissive, you or them?
She was dismissive, and she was just too blind, stupid, and too naive to the fact that this man can hurt me in any way, shape, or form or fashion. Ain't no ifs, and, or buts about that. You knew what was going on. You thought you were going to make you some money out of this. And it was going, and then ended up getting the short end of the stick and getting mind fucked. That's what happened to you. And I am so sorry I am sorry that you had to experience that, my love.
Right.
But what happens to a person happens because they allow it to. A person anything that happens in their life only gonna happen if you allow it to. And you allow it.
Do you think she need therapy? Do you think it was something more than money that would make you want to even sacrifice your she couldn't have possibly thought she was going to go straight up to a wife.
She did. She thought she was. Because
y'all don't think it's no type of screw loose?
No,
because it could be.
Let's get it. The video that they were telling her about, if I'm not mistaken, was the video of him urinating on a 12-year-old girl.
Yes, that's the video that they gave her.
That's a 12-year-old girl. Her mindset is, he may not do that to me because I'm older, so maybe I might be in the wifey role and I might be able to get more things. I might not be okay with what he's doing, but as long as I'm getting money, I'm okay with it.
And my thought would have been he would do more want more from me.
Buying me out. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something. Nowadays, women feel like as soon as you start getting flued out and you getting all of this other stuff, they don't give a damn. They feeling like, oh, he's taking care of me. He do this, he do that. That's
flowers and a plane ticket, huh?
Flowers. Oh, I ain't never got flowers. My old boo didn't even do this for me. Okay, boo, your old boo didn't even beat you, pee on you. And
she was married.
You were married. What happened to your husband? You divorced him?
She
was divorced. And in being divorced, notice she had a kid. He took the kid.
The husband.
Yeah, the husband had the kid because remember, that's how she got away. Oh, she got away by saying she wanted to come back and take her son school shopping.
Girl, no. Hell no.
You didn't do it because your son deserved more. You didn't want to do it because if I'm going to waste my time like this.
She thought only about self in that situation.
Yeah, so that's what I'm getting at.
My son can be with my husband or my ex-husband, and I'm going to go live the life as a rich wife or a rich side chick or whatever she thought she was going to be. That's what she thought. Most definitely, she thought she was going to live that life. Well, baby, the ones who get it, and the ones who don't. And unfortunately, you were the one who didn't.
Y'all listen. It said, she said, eventually people at the station found out. I started getting harassed, people messaging me and referencing his sex tape. Rob was very supportive and eventually talked me into quitting. He said, babe, just come and live with me. I sold my car, gave up my condo, and moved to Chicago.
Dumb shit. So if he want to put you out, or if he tell you can't go nowhere because now you ain't got no condo,
Why you didn't rent the condo out? You see what I'm saying?
Bag of rocks.
It was no type of brain. You did.
That's not as stupid as a bag of rocks. She
you
felt
sold
like
it
to be taken care of.
Goofy.
But I was still wanting something to fall back on, to give my son, to make sure I always could come home or come somewhere if I didn't want to live with somebody else. I'm not selling my condo.
As a woman,
you sold your car.
You sold your car and your condo just to go live with someone else and abide by. When you living with somebody else, let me tell you this: because I know this, when you living with somebody else, that means you got to do one: abide by the rules under their roof. Everything they say goes. If they tell you to get up and get out, you gotta go because your name ain't on no nan lease. If you was going to at least move with this man, tell that man to put your name on the lease so you got some type of say-so around this piece. You gave up your house, your car.
Everything you worked hard to get.
Your job to go live with someone else. How backwards is that? Ain't no telling how much like pain and suffering, blood, sweat, and tears you put in to get this.
But we know it was a lot. You was good. You was good in entertainment and you have a mortgage. That alone is not something that we just have every day. Those are two very big things. The car, okay, it's a car. But property and a career.
You can't get that back, dummy. You can't get that back. Unless you're going to have to start all over. Unless you have a 401k plan set to the side.
She work at the radio station. What are you trying to say, Ron?
That she wanted to be Miss Kelly. That's what it comes down to.
She wanted to be Miss Kelly. She thought she was going to be Mrs. Kelly. And that's all it is. And these are our opinions, guys. We are saying our opinions. These are all of our opinions on how we feel as human beings, as women and as men. This is how we feel from our side.
And thinking with a logical brain.
And thinking with a logical.
These are our opinions, and it should be yours too.
It should be.
Yeah, so this one don't get no leeway. I gave them a heads up last week. For anything with the younger ones, that's different. With the parents, it's different. With these two 30-year-olds, I'm saying whatever the hell I want to say. It's my opinion. It's my show, and I'm not going to keep saying it's my opinion. I don't apologize for it or nothing. I'm reading what she wrote.
Opinions is like assholes, and everybody got one. Take it and leave it. Shit.
And I paid a lot of money to have this one, and I made much better decisions. So
this don't make no damn sense. Like, I just feel like when you hit a certain age, listen, I watched one of his shows. Don't get me wrong. Like we said, like Hilda said, we're not taking from his talent. Mm-hmm. We are not taking from this man's talent. Mm-hmm. I still listen to his music because at the end of the day, nowadays they ain't got no good music. You know,
and if I want to, I'm going to listen. I already bought it.
Like, y'all ain't got no good music. But I watched one of his shows in one of the actual concerts where they had somebody on stage with an 18 and over sign. And he was saying, all you got to be is 18 to come home with me.
That's why I'm saying I said it last week. If you have ever been to one of his concerts, you would never understand how a child of I wouldn't take my 18-year-old.
He be tripping at his concerts. It
was another concert I seen when he gave the rag to like a sweat rag to one of his fans. He had them wiping his face.
Girl, he didn't have people on the stage. The very concert where he was eating the girl out, I was there. And I knew it. And I was like, that looked way too real. It was behind the screen. I was like, that looks way too real. I was covering my eyes like, oh, Jesus, this is too much. Yes, it goes down in his concert.
Send this to you or pull this up and play this because, listen.
It's
here.
not. We can't see it. We can't see it, but you can add a link to the comments though. That way people can go in and look at it. Tell us what it's about.
Okay, so he's saying, do somebody want to come home with me? Will it be you?
Oh, he said it every concert.
And it's somebody with an 18 and over song.
Wow.
I'm trying every show, Ron. He's saying somebody's going home with him. I've been to 3 of his concerts. That's his staple. He's making it very clear. So it's not a secret.
He said, the sign said the 18 is big as day. And then they got the little and sign and over is under it. All you got to be is 18.
And that was later. I didn't go to no concert with no damn sign. All he said was somebody's coming home with me. Every show. And that's his right. He's a grown man. But you can't possibly think after his PP video that he does regular things. So if you go home with this man, you probably should just be ready to do whatever, I guess. Because who's going home that late with somebody? What are you doing? Going to have a club sandwich? To talk about the Lord?
I want to go home and snatch my wig off and go to bed.
Right.
You ain't doing none of that going home with him.
You ain't doing none of that. I ain't trying to come home with you.
Not a nan nutter.
This is for her. Not a nan nutter. Don't nobody say that nan nutter like you say that nan nutter. Ain't nobody going home with you, boy.
I love that part of the movie. Oh my gosh. Okay, so now that we've talked about her, next week we are going to review those texts. That's what we're going to do. We're going to review those texts. We're not putting them out until the actual show, so we'll go over them and give our reaction to them. So we'll do reactions to those videos, and then I want to see
you can post a snippet of the messages and just put like a blur over
the other part.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll do that, and then I want to see if I could find the Aaliyah video of him, so y'all can see like how arrogant he was at the beginning. To see somebody should have caught it then, and then it wouldn't have got as bad because the arrogancy went away, and it was almost like, what? This is normal. He really was like oblivious. His world was his world. He got whatever he wanted, and that's what really happens. That man. Jeez, all the people around him belong in jail.
I think you should also they have people who have the Aaliyah movie. I watched it. I like watching the those are the autobiographies. When they make the movies with
like the documentary.
Yeah, like they make the documentary, but it's the actual like how they made the new Whitney Houston movie. With actual like different people, not really in it. So I watched the movie, the Aaliyah movie, and the way they made things portray. If you were to take clips out of that movie, I am very upset that they tried to make it a movie about her now that she is,
can't defend herself.
Can't defend herself.
Okay.
But you should take a clip. It's a clip in that movie. I'm gonna watch it again tonight, so I can probably record it.
I've never seen it, so I'll watch it.
Yes, you have to see how they try to portray things, because even though we stated this before the last time backstage, that whole Aaliyah and R. Kelly thing, that actually I can say that was borderline innocent. I'm not gonna say all innocent.
I'm not saying he's completely. I'm just saying his demeanor.
But with the Aaliyah situation, Aaliyah lied about her age.
I don't think okay, so let's be clear. I don't think the Aaliyah situation was his fault, because here's the thing. If your parents say okay,
yes.
You get what I'm saying? Because that can happen today for real. You can go to court for it. It's people that have married 14-year-olds and that man is 18. The parents say it's okay. If you do it and it's legal, do we think it's morally right? That's none of your business. That's their family.
Business.
He knew what age he knew what age she was because he produced and wrote.
Exactly.
Age ain't nothing but a number, and they were clearly.
That's why I'm saying, Ron.
Age ain't nothing but a number came out after I believe the parents found out she was married to him.
But he was working with her first, is what we said. And that's why I want to do reaction videos. So we'll get together and we'll pull the snippets that we think would be good, because what I find interesting is that because it blew up now, there's so many of the people from now that don't know the true, you get what I'm saying? So that's why we took the opportunity and decided to break it down each week, because each thing comes with a message for women and a message for men, and it's great lessons in all of these things. And it's so robust. So that's why we picked to keep going with this particular topic. But I think it would be good. It was Ron's idea to start from the beginning, and then it was Bambi's idea to go in and get some of the literature that is there, because she said we could still find it. And I thought we couldn't. So now that we can, we'll get together with that, because that's important. And important to identify that, you know, just because somebody says something don't mean every one of them is true. And this is one of our examples of, sorry, you're not the same as them. You don't get to be one of the cases. Yours is for something else. You probably should go for domestic violence. But it's a good example of how when somebody is accused of something, everybody tries to rush and grab onto it because it's a check attached. And that's not right. You shouldn't do that.
That was a part of that team had a connection. Hers just, he hit me.
Right.
Domestic violence is the name of your case, my love.
Right.
You did not have anything to do with the rest of you didn't even experience the least majority of them women have to go through. So us personally, and I'm gonna say us personally,
i.e. you having a personal assistant, basically.
We're going to tell you to knock it the fuck off.
We're going to tell you to get it together, my love, because I believe you got your cases like misconstrued a little bit.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So Ron, what are you going to close with? I'll let you close out the show, actually.
Well, I would say, you know what I'm saying, we got to definitely, when people show us stuff, it's like, we got to believe it. We got to believe them. You know what I mean? We can't turn a blind eye to certain things. As we see the signs early, and that's in all situations in life. Everyone's seen this a long time ago with R. Kelly, even with everyone that worked with him musically. Like, I'm even looking at them with a side eye. Like, how you work with R. Kelly after he pissed on a little girl? You feel me? I'm a big Jay-Z fan, but Best of Both Worlds came out after that. Like, how you do a whole album with this nigga, a whole tour with this nigga, 2 albums actually with this nigga. You know what I'm saying? And I heard Nas say a clip that from back in the day that Jay knew what he was doing. So what I'm saying is, this is bigger than an R. Kelly thing. This is a problem in the industry. So I think we got to look at that going forward too, about everybody that was working with him or around him.
Yes.
You know, my biggest thing is, if you're going to be around for something, or if you're going to be a part of something, you know, that makes you a part of it, period.
Ooh, I'm going to end with that. I was going to do a toast, but I'm going to just throw a gummy bear in the air and say cheers. On that note, we will be back next week. It's going to continue. We're probably going to be talking about this for the next 32 years of our life, but everyone will have a good topic, and it will have a message that we need to start implementing. My brother ended the show. I don't have nothing else to say except make sure you follow all of us, like, comment, and subscribe. And then head over to Politicking as well while you're here on YouTube, and make sure that you subscribe there as well, especially if you're the men on the sports side or the women on the sports. They talk a lot of shit. Go over there and enjoy. And we will see you soon, next week, as in soon.
Peace.
Good night.